What does it mean to be an American?
Our lives are not fully lived if we're not willing to die for those we love and for what we believe.
Nothing's riding on this except the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of the press, and maybe the future of the country.
The spirit of America. It's a mindset. It's an idea. To have hope, to have perseverance, no matter our differences, to have empathy, morality, integrity, to be resilient, to remember that we are more alike than we are different, and to do the right thing, no matter the consequence. And with our 250th anniversary for this nation, we celebrate an introspection, retrospection upon what it truly means to embody the American spirit. Let's look to the 1976 classic, All the President's Men, and how it reflects the American spirit. All the President's Men follows the true story of two reporters working at the Washington Post when they uncover the web of lies that brought down the Nixon administration. It all starts with a break-in at the Watergate complex on June 17th, 1972 in Washington, D.C. We follow the perpetrators dressed in suits with blue gloves on as they break into the office of the Democratic National Committee with the intent to steal information and plant listening devices. They're ultimately caught and indicted in front of a judge. At that hearing, Bob Woodward, played by the Robert Redford, gets wind of the oddity of this break-in, that these men, they have a high-powered lawyer ready to come and aid them. Woodward recognizes the situation, and his persistence to get to the bottom of this situation follows him out of the courtroom and into the newsroom at the then prestigious Washington Post. Inside, one of the editors, Harry, tells Woodward to follow the story for what the situation actually is.
Or other organizations. Could be a story, or it could just be crazy Cubans.
Wyszynski, when you get down there tonight, take it easy.
A source at the police station calls Woodward with the information, belongings of the burglars. He finds that one Howard Hunt of the White House has his name inside the address books of two of the burglars. Woodward takes it upon himself to call the White House, and through there he realizes that the right-hand man to Richard Nixon, Charles Colson, is linked to this. Woodward dives into this investigation head-on, with nothing in common besides a nose for a good story. Fellow reporter Leonard Bernstein, played by Dustin Hoffman, follows suit. Together, Woodward and Bernstein dive into the world of the White House, the Attorney General, and the rest of federal law enforcement. They follow the story to the Library of Congress as they try to uncover information that the White House has been looking into to see if there's any correlations to the break-ins. They write up this story and share it with their editor, Ben Bradley,
Piece of American journalism that the New York Times doesn't.
who rips them to bits, not for their reporting, but because they haven't found the juice yet.
You haven't got it. Librarian and secretary say Hunt looked at a book. That's not good enough.
White House aide told me that Hunt was investigating Kennedy.
There's a level of integrity behind searching for the truth and sharing it accurately.
Ben, that's a page one story.
Stick it inside someplace. Get some harder information next time.
The next day, Woodward receives a message at home from a secret source wanting to meet. He sets out a red flag on his balcony and looks for the message to meet with this source. Woodward meets with the secret informant on Deep Background, codenamed Deep Throat, in a parking garage.
Where are you? Stuck. The story is stalled on us.
Deep Throat chooses
And
to
you thought
guide
I'd
the
help?
investigation of Woodward and Bernstein.
Forget the myths that the media's created about the White House. The truth is, these are not very bright guys, and things got out of hand.
And pushes Woodward to follow the money.
Follow the money. What do you mean? Where? Oh, I can't tell you that.
The money comes from the committee to re-elect the president for Nixon. And there was a check for $25,000 deposited into the account for one of the burglars at Watergate. But that doesn't get them that far, because they just can't figure out what exactly they've uncovered.
Everyone says, get off it, Ben, and I come on very sage, and I say, well, you'll see, you wait till this bottoms out. But the truth is, I can't figure out what we've got. What else are you working on?
Well, we're after a list of creep employees.
They acquire a full list of employees from the committee to re-elect, called CREEP for short. And this list leads them to knock on every single door possible, asking these employees to see if anybody will talk to them and share what they know. But it gets them nowhere, to the point where they believe that the story is fake.
Something that strikes you as odd about this? What? It's almost like there's a pattern to the way they're not talking, the way they're saying no all the time. I think it's odd.
That they're being gaslit to some extent. And that's because the rest of the media buries the story. And this was all under the guise of Richard Nixon running for re-election. And even then, Woodward types away. No matter every excuse not to do so, they keep going. And with that, their persistence pays off. One of the women working at the Creep Fund shares what she knows about the money and the people working there. And with this, it starts a crescendo of paranoia.
Boy, that woman was paranoid. At one point, I suddenly wondered how high up this thing goes, and her paranoia finally got to me. I thought what we had was so hot that any minute CBS or NBC are going to come in through the windows and take the story away.
We're both paranoid. She's afraid of John Mitchell, and you're afraid of Walter Cronkite.
They once again share their findings, and the Attorney General goes on TV to deny what they are purporting, saying that it's some sort of political vendetta. But even then, they persevered. They meet with Sloan, who quits his job at the Creep Fund. But even then, he, like every other source, is not willing to go and risk their tail for this story.
God damn it, when is somebody gonna go on the record in this story?
You guys are about to write a story that says the former Attorney General, the highest-ranking law enforcement officer in this country, is a crook.
But even then, they persevere. They keep going, they keep publishing.
I can't do the reporting for my reporters, which means I have to trust them. And I hate trusting anybody. Run that baby.
And the White House responds. And they don't respond directly. They give them all non-denial denials, acting as if the information being shared is not the truth. Bernstein is forced to run down his FBI contact, and he reverberates that they're forced into doing what they're doing. He's just a cog in the machine, and that they could uncover more information, but they're not supposed to uncover the information. Everyone at the Washington Post knows that they're on the brink of something important. And they know that they're not wrong about their reporting. They run a story culminating what they found with full confirmations.
Did he confirm it? Absolutely. You gotta tell Bradley.
New York Times has 3 columns on it.
Bernstein got another source.
The guy just is confirmed.
Is any doubt we can run it tomorrow?
You don't have to. The story's solid. We're sure of it.
He's just got a phone. Let's go.
Okay, we go with it.
And even then they realize that there was a bit of issue with what they had reported. And the Post gets slaughtered.
One senator just gave a speech slurring us 57 times in 20 minutes. I knew we had enemies, but I didn't know we were this popular.
And even with their backs against the wall, Ben Bradley stands by the boys.
Fuck it, let's stand by the boys.
Woodward meets with Deep Throat and pushes him finally to ask,
Were we wrong?
You'll have to find that out, won't you?
Listen, I'm tired of your chicken shit games. I don't want hints.
I need to know what you know. And Deep Throat finally confides with Woodward that they're on the money. They know exactly what's going on.
It involves the entire U.S. intelligence community. FBI, CIA, justice. It's incredible.
That Woodward, Bernstein, they're being watched, they're being listened to, that they are definitely in danger for this story that they're chasing. Woodward and Bernstein run to tell Ben Bradley what's going on. And Bradley, in his wisdom, gives them the confidence to keep going.
You guys are probably pretty tired, right? Well, you should be. Go on home. Get a nice hot bath. Rest up 15 minutes. Then get your asses back in gear. We're under a lot of pressure, you know, and you put us there. Nothing's riding on this except the First Amendment of the Constitution, freedom of the press, and maybe the future of the country.
Even at the peak of being reviled by everybody, they stuck to their guns. They fought for the truth. And they know that we all deserve to know that truth. And after that, we end on Richard Nixon getting re-inaugurated. And we see Woodward and Bernstein at their desks at the Post, typing away, breaking the story, defending the truth. And we don't see Nixon getting arrested or something like that or running off. They share at the end of the movie that the truth that they share indeed causes indictments, convictions, causes Nixon to leave the White House. This movie, no matter how much I explain it, it is a true experience. That is a true thrill ride to me. It's a must-watch. The story of this movie is enveloped by politics, but it's not about politics. If it were about politics, the wrongdoings of the Nixon administration would have been uncovered decades later. But the true human element shines through Woodward, through Bernstein, through Ben Bradley, through all the sources. There's a true spirit of unity in the chase of the truth that happens in this movie that I truly admire. There's a contention between Woodward and Bernstein throughout the movie that is incredibly American. Through their various issues, their various beliefs, they're working together with the same resolve, with the same tenacity, because it's not about their ego. It's about the result. It's about the truth. It's about putting the differences aside, understanding the truth of the situation, and practicing love, no matter the risk, because it's not about our opinions. The human spirit of America has always been of risk, a risk that considers the next generations, that if you want to change the current state of your life to be better for the next generation in a way that you didn't have it before, that requires risk. It requires consideration. It requires a lot of love and empathy to strive for a truth that unites us. That is what humanity searches for. And it makes me wonder, after experiencing stories like All the President's Men, ultimately, what have we achieved in 250 years? It's something to be proud of in many ways, but it's also something to be ashamed of. But the way we move forward is a choice. Whether it's to keep yelling at each other or yelling through each other, or to realize that our path upwards is together. They've been trying, and they've been winning at getting us to be mad at each other, to keep us divided. But if we are angry and united, we might be able to work towards a better place on earth. If you love something, you love it for its greatness and for its flaws. You embrace both together, not separate. And it is a gift to be an American. And I'll always treat it as such. I hope with a heavy heart that we see the humanity in each other and we walk with that every day. And I see it within the people, but it's gotta be the norm for everyone, because that's the spirit of America. Because this is a revolution that won't be televised, because it requires every single one of us to do right by each other. There's always going to be politics in this country, but the choice shouldn't be that one person is wrong or one person is right, but we must come to the table and work in a united front to work out our differences. Just because we don't fully agree doesn't mean that we can't work together to enrich our communities for the better. Woodward and Bernstein even with their diametric differences, we're able to get through it. Because it's not about the politics, it's about the truth. And the truth that helps us all work to be united, to keep the integrity of this country. For anyone who tries to dismiss others and not genuinely try to understand their beliefs and why they have those views, it's leading us down a path of division, oppression, dehumanization, no matter what they throw at us. To divide us, we're all deserving of love. We should always practice that to each other and always believe that the spirit of America has been that we are stronger together than divided. That America, one of the few places on earth that has always believed that their existence is not without divine significance. That indeed, in God we trust. At 250 years, we're only getting started. And the next 50 are gonna be the test of our lifetimes to do better by each other, collectively. I believe in us. I hold faith in the idea and the spirit that we will believe in each other, trust in each other, and want to improve for each other, because that's the right thing to do.
That there is a great invisible strength in a people's union. See, we've shown that a people can endure awful sacrifice and yet cohere. Mightn't that save at least the idea of democracy to aspire to?